All right. Welcome back for part two of our conversation with Miss Candace Coop. And we're going to talk about the ACC today.
Okay.
You ready for this? I'm ready.
I can't
I'm ready.
wait. I can't wait for your opinions because I know that you have some.
I do. I do. But let's start here. This is my hot take of the year.
Okay.
The ACC is the number 2 conference in the country right now. I think it's close to being number 1.
Behind.
Only the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is the second best, the first best conference.
All four of them. That's good.
What do you think?
I that would have me being that confident about North Carolina because if you tell me about the Big Ten, where you say Michigan and Ohio State, do we match up with them? Like if you put Florida State in that mix, absolutely. But then if you have North Carolina, then who else do you put in that conversation and kind of drops off? And then, well, I mean, for argument for the Big Ten, who else after Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the ACC is great. But, for someone who is Florida State, we should be leaving this conference. We don't like this conference. I'm very surprised to hear you say that.
Well, let's just start here.
You've
I'm
been
gonna
doing
just say
apologies all part one and part two. So I don't know.
I am. I'm gonna say this. I still believe that the bones of this conference is trash. I
Okay.
think that we don't make enough money in this conference.
Okay.
Um, and it's not a well-respected conference either.
It's
Because,
not.
and the reason why I say that is this: Clemson should be ranked. Okay, Clemson should be a ranked football team. If you're gonna rank, if teams like Tennessee can be ranked and Florida can get ranked, Kentucky is getting ranked,
Yeah.
Clemson should be ranked. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I also think the quarterback play is really good this year in the ACC, and that's the reason why the Pac-12 and the ACC to me is better because mainly the quarterbacks right now are
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
in the conference.
Talk about Bo Nix. Good Lord.
You know,
His seventh life in college football.
but that's another problem, and that's a whole college football thing I'm kind of tired of. Like everybody keep talking about these quarterbacks. I'm like, yeah, but a lot of these guys shouldn't be playing right now. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan Travis is one of them. Bo Nix
Sam
is one.
Sam Hartman.
Sam Hartman. I think Penix might be one too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of 6-year, 7-year guys playing quarterback that probably should not be doing that. But
They can rent a car where other guys they can't even drink yet. So
yeah, we're getting into weird hours with the age of these quarterbacks in college football. It's odd.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
So what do you think about my hot take?
I'm shocked because I've seen you all summer talk cash money about the ACC.
I still want
However,
I still want out, Candace. I don't want to
no,
stay
where you want to go?
just cause I
Where
like it.
you want to
It's
go?
like just cause my girl starts cooking, don't mean I want to stay all of a sudden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just cause
Where do you want to go? Where do you think the grass is greener?
I,
There's problems everywhere you go. We work 9 to 5s. We understand. There's problems everywhere you go. You can go job to job to job to job. You go conference to conference, conference, conference. You're gonna find some issues.
so my problem right now as an FSU fan is that I'm concerned about the long-term viability of the football program, right?
Mhm.
Um, it was concerning me like when Norvell was being really bad when he was really bad early on, the Taggart, the Norvell era. To me, a lot of that necessarily wasn't the coach's fault. A lot of that was the infrastructure part of it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Didn't have strong leadership, couldn't really attract strong leadership to come take the job as far as the AD and president.
Sure.
As soon as Florida State changed out the president and the AD, then all of a sudden you see that the football team started getting better. You know what I'm saying? These
Mhm.
things do work together at times,
Mhm.
right? So I'm concerned about long-term viability because I do think with these collectives, which for the record, I hate collectives. I don't think I think this stuff has been bastardized to a point that it's really like ugly right now. But
Yeah.
with the collectives and the infusion of money and
Mhm.
stuff that's going on in the sport, FSU needs more of it
Mhm.
to compete in the region that they're in. Like
But do
they
you
was
think they're not doing well? They're doing well with little right now.
right, but they need more because I think my point is this. If FSU is just going to be the cute program that wins 10 games every 3 years, then that's fine. What they have is good enough. But if the point is we need to win national championships and compete for national championships, then they do need to have a bigger TV deal. They need to bring in about $40 million, 35 to 40 to $50 million per year, TV revenue wise.
Mhm.
Also, I think they need to play in bigger matchups and be a part of a conference that those matchups are being brought up as big time things because that matters in recruiting.
Absolutely.
Even with FSU, like FSU's gonna play Duke, and they're probably be gonna beat Duke, but that's not gonna be really considered a big win. It's gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what you're supposed to do. That's Duke. Even when they beat Clemson, oh well, Clemson's down now. That's what you're supposed to do to Clemson.
Mm.
And it's funny because like Kentucky could beat Florida, or Florida could beat Kentucky, or beat South Carolina, and everybody's like, oh, look at Florida, they're marching their way back into greatness again. It's like, so the narratives shifts when you're in a bigger conference. You know what I'm saying? It
That's
just
fair.
does. It
That's
just
fair.
does. And that's my main concern. I don't want FSU to be left behind in the big picture because we're going to a 12-team playoffs.
Hmm.
So losing 2 games or 3 games in the season is not going to really be a big deal anymore.
But I think that's going to be watered down anyway. I think having 12 teams is going to water down the whole
Yeah,
kid.
I'm going to hate that too, to be honest with you. But
You
I
haven't
don't.
quite got there in your hatred. I got you. I got you.
But I don't like where college football is going. I keep telling everybody this. I don't like where we're going. I know everybody's getting all excited, but I'm like, y'all got excited for the 14 playoffs.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
now we watch the playoffs and we get 3 blowouts. We
Hello.
get 2 and 3 blowouts every year. We sit there on New Year's Eve, we watch a team get blowed out. We watch another team play a close game, then we watch some more blowouts the next day.
I just think it's like it's not March Madness. And so having the multiple teams win at the buzzer, and it's one thing is basketball, a game of runs, couple hoops, you get a little recession and cool. This is a very volatile sport, right?
Right.
You have more and more chances to get hurt and injured. And I think why put yourself at risk? Because like those kids don't want to play bowl games as is. They don't want to play a 12-round circuit of championship, gauntlet. Why would you want to do that when you know you're trying to go get the big money? So I don't know if it's going to hit the way people think.
Yeah, and then like even this year, people keep saying, oh, there's no great teams this year. There's no great teams. I'm like, we do this every year in October. Then we get to January, and then we're like, oh, you know what? That team was the better team the whole time.
We're halfway there.
So
Just
I'm like
relax.
we hype ourselves up every year on this. It's parity. It's more parity than ever.
Well,
Then we get
now you think about the summer every year, there's conference realignment. There's going to be who's shifting, who's changing, who got the best TV deal. It's like, all right, can we just get to football? Because none of that really mattered, right? We know you haven't heard anybody talk about shifting conferences since we started the season.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
You
but
haven't heard any 80 statements from
yeah.
your guy himself come out with anything about where's the money at, da, da, da. And he's sitting quiet in the top 5 spots. So he's all
Well,
right.
he's doing what he's doing what the board has elected him to do,
Okay.
right? So I
That's
mean,
fair.
he has to do that, right? Because
Sure.
that's what they want. They want this type of conversations to happen. So that's what he's gonna do. And I like Offer. I think he's done a good job at FSU, and I think FSU will be in FSU's best interest to give him a nice big bump and keep him here. You know what I'm saying? Because he gets it. You know what I'm saying? We've been in desperate times with some bad ads the last couple of years. So
That's fair.
but let's get back to football though. Let's get back to football. I want to talk about North Carolina.
Okay.
I actually think now this is a hot take.
You've been hot taking it this
I know,
episode.
I'm in the hot take. I'm there. I think North Carolina's like legitimately a top 5 team. I think North Carolina could be like a playoff team. Well, I think they got that type of potential, to be honest with you.
Based
Am
on
I,
Drake May's play, based on
it,
the
it,
defense, what has
it,
given you that?
well, mainly, okay, so Drake May is a big reason why. Because he's
Okay.
not even playing great football yet.
Come on. We
He's
love some
not playing great.
honesty.
He's
Yeah.
just being great in spots,
Yes.
right? The offensive line, I think they had some injuries early in the season. They're starting to get a little healthier now. Running backs are starting to get healthy. Y'all just got Tez Walker back. And this is the crazy thing about Duke. Duke gets after not Duke, but North Carolina gets after the passer.
Mm-hmm.
That's something y'all didn't do a good job of the last couple of years of getting guys off the field. Now y'all get people off the field on 3rd downs.
Hello.
So
That
I
secondary figuring out. I ain't gonna say I'm not mad Dre Bly is gone, but I ain't mad at Dre Bly is gone.
somebody said that too. They say, God, we should have fired Dre Bly 2 years ago.
Like, if you don't know, if you've never been a coach, great recruiter, should have
Yeah,
been I think he should have been an ambassador, right? You
right.
find a job for him, but you don't let him put a headset on. Like, that's just not what he needed to do. I think Gene is finally getting like that old hitch, getting old giddy up. You know what I mean? We're figuring out how to be a national championship level type defense. And, we're not great, but definitely making a lot of strides, which is something I certainly didn't see. That linebacker core is really good. And I think the line is doing just enough.
How good has our guy that went over there, Amari Gainer? How good?
I like him a lot. I like him. I think he's playing in like a good system for him.
Hmm.
I think that between him, Cedric Gray, Power Eccles, they're just like a really great unit. Kamon Rucker is having a season of his life right now, right? Trying to make him some money. Javari Ritzy, I think it's also really good coming off the line, more so than being in the middle. But I think overall, it's just nice that there's two sides of the ball that you could talk positively about. One is not hindering the other, and that has not been our testimony for quite some time.
Right, right. And Gainer, they've been kind of letting him rush the passer a lot, which that's
Mhm.
something I wanted FSU. I wanted FSU to do that while he was, here, but they didn't let him do. And but he's been great rushing the passer for them.
Yeah, I think just letting people cook, and I think that's something that North Carolina has struggled with. They always want people to do too much, and just letting people excel in the thing that they can do well at, right? Instead of
Right,
trying to move them around on the line or shift. And with the health of the offensive line, you don't have where we had Sam Howell literally fighting for his life every damn play. Now you got Drake a little bit of time, right? Sometimes he does try to do too much, team too much. Like, you don't have to like sacrifice your body every. You don't have to be Superman.
right.
Just do enough, right? Live to see another down. So he's still working on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and Louisville's been like the surprise team. Jeff Brom, man.
Until they squatted the bed against freaking Pitt.
Yeah, but Pitt's good for that. They're good for getting you
This
in that
is true.
rain.
This is true. They are the coastal what the fuck. Sorry.
And
But
I
yeah.
and I thought I watched that game and they let Pitt cornerbacks just grab and mud the crap out those wide receivers of that game. I was just like, okay, this
Home
finna be
field
this.
advantage, but I think that Plummer, Jake, what's his name? Jack Plummer.
Jack Plummer.
I think that he is subpar, but does just enough, right? I think that Brahms' energy is what makes Louisville's culture. That defense is pretty solid. So it's exciting to see, him. It just wasn't it because he
Yeah.
didn't care about Louisville. And like, you need. What's up? Not your twin on here.
I literally told you that I'm doing something. What are we doing here? Hold on.
I love a baby.
Give me
You're
1 second.
You gotta keep that in there. You
Sorry.
gotta keep that in there. That's awesome. That's
Sorry
your
about
twin for real. That's your twin. You could have denied that boy if you tried, boy.
I
I'll tell
really
you
couldn't. I really couldn't.
that.
I really couldn't. He just had a birthday.
Oh yeah? How old
Yeah.
is he now? He looks about what, 7?
No, he turned 5.
No. He looks like he about to go to 2nd grade.
Nope. Only 5.
Wow.
Still in
Wow.
pre-K.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But where we at? Where we at here? We talking about Louisville, right?
Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville. It's scary hours for Louisville because they need to bounce back. But I think overall, solid program. They're the dark horse that we didn't know what we're going to get out of them, but I think positively they've turned it around as a
Yeah.
program. But they were a good defensive program last year. They just, Malik Cunningham was good. I think Satterfield was just done. Like, he could care less.
Yeah, them programs, them coaches, these coaches, they burn hot, they burn fast.
I'm trying to tell you, and they literally can change the trajectory of just young men's lives off of just whether they care or not.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
When he tried to get that job at South Carolina, I think that was
at the beginning of the end. Beginning of the end.
Writing was on the wall.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so we got Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, who I feel like is that's the one game that when FSU plays, I'm gonna be the most terrified of, to be honest with you. Because of Drake.
Louisville? Oh, Drake.
No, because of North Carolina. That's North Carolina's the only team that concerns me the most because Drake it's like he plays better the bigger the moment gets. Like, once the moment gets big, you're like, okay, now I need to be.
Let me stop playing with y'all. Yeah. But Mac Brown, Florida State has had Mac Brown's number.
That's true.
God knows how many years straight.
But the thing about it is, once Matt Brown have a top 5 draft pick, he does win with that guy. So that concerns me because
Yeah.
people keep telling me, they like, "Well, saying, well, we got his number." I'm like, yeah, but when Matt did have Vince Young, he did win.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think Gene Chizik has been the solid, quiet gem because he knows what it takes to get at that level. So the way he's been pouring into that defense has been essential
Mm-hmm.
because those guys aren't used to winning. They're not used to being good. And I think the fact that they've had level heads
Right.
and not got too caught up in themselves speaks volumes to where they're really trying to take this program.
Mm. Okay. And so then we got Duke, and then we say about Louisville, and we got Clemson. Like Clemson and Miami, they're in the wilderness right now. They got to come out of it.
I think Clemson just, you're so used to being on top and dominant, and doing away with divisions in the ACC has been the best thing for the conference. I think that's why, to your point, it has been a really good year. But Clemson's not used to everyone wanting them and getting an opportunity to play them.
Right.
You didn't get to play a Duke necessarily because they weren't on the docket for the Atlantic. And now you're getting, you got to play, you got to pick up and show up because you're the big bad wolf and everybody wants to take you down, which you would think that would be Dabo Swinney's, strength because he loves a good underdog
Right.
testimony. He loves everyone doubted us, people didn't believe in us kind of bit. So I'm
Right.
surprised he hasn't used that to his advantage. But I think Cade isn't as good as people tried to make him out to be.
Yeah, I'll listen to somebody that they're saying that Clemson's going really hard after DJ Lagway,
Mm-hmm.
the kid that Florida has committed right now, because they want to get back to the Deshaun Watson, Taj Boyd type guy,
Yeah.
right? That can just run. Because they've kind of went to like, oh, we had Trevor Lawrence, let's find the next Trevor Lawrence, and that's been kind of hard to replicate.
Real vanilla. Okay.
Yeah.
Real
So
vanilla. You ain't gonna find sunshine twice.
yeah. It's terrorizing me. It's terrorizing me.
You're not gonna find sunshine twice. But I think that people were really, really excited about Garrett Riley as well, right? They were excited about what his offensive schemes would be, and I think it's been kind of blah.
I
Honestly,
think they're going to be good next year on offense. The
Me
problem is, I think the defense is going to be bad.
will Will Shipley stay?
No, I think he's gone, but I think Kublik's going to take another step, and those wide receivers are young, and he's
Mhm.
young. So
Yeah.
I think next year Garrett Riley will be able to do a lot more with them. I think right now, I think Dabo's not trying to change much because I think he was trying to kind of let's ease our way through the first 4 or 5 games, and then we would take this step with the young guys.
Mhm.
But I think it backfired because of the Duke game. I think
Yeah.
once he lost that game, it kind of was like, oh my God. But then when they played against FSU, they opened it up, and he was dealing in that game.
Yes, I agree. I think that it's just a matter of, Dabo sort of trying to regain the trust of some of the young guys who were assuming that, oh, you just come in, fit in the system and figure it out. And that's not necessarily how it is.
Yeah, and I do think Clemson got some expectation problems too, and I mean that's just the norm. Like I had some FSU fans was telling me, yes, he's having a hard time adapting. He's having a hard time. I'm like, well, the way he did it, won 2 national championships.
Hello.
So, like this idea that I keep telling people, everybody's not Nick Saban. Everybody can't do it 6 different ways.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
only
Come on.
only Nick has done that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And really, it's very small, minute tweaks. It's not like he's changed his entire philosophy, his entire
right,
program. Like he been paying people, so that ain't new either. So I think he's just shifted just a little bit where he wants these guys keep him young, and he understands what his players need.
right. But just this idea that it's like the first time something slips in the program, people are ready to say, "Oh, it's over. He can't adapt. He can't do that." It's like, man, it's hard to win national championships. And I keep telling people this shit. It's almost easier to climb up there. It's
Hello.
hard as hell to stay up there. Ain't no oxygen up there. Like Nick Saban said,
Yeah.
when you climb a mountain, there's no oxygen up there.
Okay. And everybody wants to take you down every single time, every single year. And you got to have a different. And we're not playing one game. So it ain't like, oh, national championship is it. Like you're playing entire seasons,
Right.
hoping for the best in a crapshoot of being in a college football playoff. Come on.
Yeah. And you see Georgia trying to, Kirby's trying to keep his edge.
Okay.
and it's tough. It's tough.
It's
It's
100% tough. And I would love to see an ACC team, even if FSU for however long they stay, be in that conversation of consistency, of greatness. And like if this is like the beginning of Mike Norvell's college football playoff kind of greatness toward them, cool. Like Mac Brown's got 2 to 3 more years at best. Like boy, the man 85.
mhm.
Like he ain't gonna be around forever. I do think though that Norvell, should he want to stay, definitely has the opportunity to build that sort of legacy, that ACC legacy.
Yeah, the big thing with Norvell's gonna be he's gonna have to recruit the high school D lineman, the O lineman at a higher level than what
Mm,
he's doing currently.
yeah.
Which I think there's a chance he could do that. But that's one of the things I got to see him do. You know, uh, they got a chance though. They got a chance.
People don't understand how important the trenches are, but it's
So,
essential.
so before I get you off of here, I got to ask you, who do you think win the conference?
If you ask me today, I say FSU. If you ask me about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and if Carolina beats Duke, I might say Carolina. But I don't know. I want it to be us in the North Carolina grad here, but the wool ain't been pulled under my eyes yet, so I don't know.
You see, you've
I'm
been
trying-
hurt too many times.
I've been hurt.
You've been hurt too many
Can
times.
you,
You
can
got to
you
let.
tell it come from a hurt place?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you tell? I done been through some things.
You've
Okay.
been through something.
I've been through some things. I done seen it before. I done seen this before. I done
Okay.
got my hopes up. I done been all in, all the things. I ain't never seen us undefeated this long, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But, I think that North Carolina just has something really special. I want everyone to stay healthy in the name of Jesus. However, I like Florida State because, Florida State doing well does well for the conference. Like
Right.
just by the brand name, like North Carolina's good, but we're a basketball school. We know what we
Okay.
are. But I think Florida State doing well for football's sake does really well for the conference.
Okay. That's true. That's true. I think Florida, man, I ain't gonna lie. The Drake May thing is killing me because I'm one of the people that I feel like if you got like a top 5 quarterback, like a guy that's gonna be top 5 in the draft, I normally pick that guy to win most of the games that he plays. Like I
Yeah.
I, I just go into the game, be like, okay, I'm gonna bake it in. Here we go. Let me
Yeah.
bake this top 2 quarterback and I think he's actually gonna be better than Caleb in the NFL.
Oh,
Uh,
1000%. He's just so smooth with it. And I mean, you want to talk about Sam Howell having no sort of feeling motion like Drake May don't. I'm just ready to go.
Oh,
Next
I don't
play.
even think he smiles on the side. I don't never see him smile. I don't see him get mad. I don't see him. He's just kind of like he's a process
Yeah.
guy.
Yes.
So I mean, I told somebody I would take him over Caleb. Now, I think Caleb's going to be good. I do.
Yes.
I
Yes.
do. But I think Caleb's going to need the right coach. I think he's going to like if he
Absolutely.
get Ben Johnson from the guy that's at the Lions. If he get Ben Johnson, I feel good about him. But if he get like not the right coach, I think he's gonna be a problem. But
Yeah.
Drake May, I think he could pretty much put him with any coach, and I think he's
I
gonna
think,
thrive.
yeah, I think Drake's good in process and he can make some ish shake. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
what sets him apart. Like, he knows how to make something out of nothing,
See,
which,
he reminds me more of Andrew Luck than how they keep comparing Caleb to Andrew Luck and to
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Drake May reminds me more of Trevor Lawrence and what, Chad? I told you I'm in here doing something. Why you here aggravating your dad?
Yes, just do it.
That's how you know you're a good dad. That's how you
Oh,
know you're
okay.
a good dad.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay. All right.
Wrap this party up.
All right. Yeah, it's over. Yeah. So I'm gonna take FSU,
Okay.
but
Why?
just because I'm an FSU fan. But if
Okay.
I wasn't an FSU fan, if I was just looking at it from the outside, not paying attention to anything, and just was like casually watching the football game, I think I would take North Carolina over FSU if they play.
I think Florida State's a little more vulnerable than UNC because I think just something about them gives they're going to get popped in the mouth at the wrong time, and it might be ACC championship game, but who knows?
But the thing about it is FSU's habits haven't been great to me as the season is going. Now
Mhm.
I don't know if that's because of the offensive line. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, well, if the offensive line gets healthy, then they get a couple games together, then maybe all this stuff will start coming together at the right time.
You're right.
But right now, North Carolina looks more like a machine to
Yeah.
me than what FSU does. But I still think, and then now you're talking about, okay, who's going to have the best players on the field? Well, I know Keon Coleman's special, but I think Drake May in that game would be better in that game than what Jordan Travis, and he can have more of an impact than what Keon Coleman can have. So
You
then
don't you don't believe in the run game over there in Tallahassee?
it hasn't been good against good teams.
That's
So
fair.
that
That's
bothers
fair.
me.
Yeah.
And then watching what North Carolina, I thought North Carolina would pass the ball on Miami to win that game. I did not know they would run like that on Miami because nobody has run on Miami. I mean, granted, Miami hasn't played a lot of good teams, but Miami did shut down Texas A&M. Like they really did. They, and I know people keep saying, well, Texas A&M not good, but at that point, Texas A&M was good when they had their quarterback. They had a quarterback. They had a guy that could throw the football, and that kid was pretty good till he got hurt. And Texas A&M defensive front has been good the whole season.
Yeah.
Their back end isn't that great.
Yeah.
So that's something that kind of concerns me a little bit. And FSU does have to beat Miami. That's going to be a tough one. So
some argue though that Carolina hasn't come up against a really good defense besides Miami, maybe. But they've said like they haven't had like those big powerhouse defenses. And I think Jared Verse would have his way with Drake May. That's my only okay.
I don't know. I ain't seen a lot out of Jared Verse this year, but okay. I gotta go, Candace. It's a wrap.
I have enjoyed this. Chance, let's hang out. Let's hang out. Let's hang out next time. All right. Make sure he does a guest spot. But thank you.
You love the girls.
Okay. Heartbreaker, early heartbreaker. Things we love to see. A Florida boy too. Oh, you in trouble.